Come one, come all! Blue players alike! The rest of you colors? Kinda stinky. But today we're going to talk about some upcoming blue cards. That's right. Dragon Ball Super Masters is getting two very exciting promos here. So, I only have one question. You want to play blue? Do you want to play blue? I usually want to play blue. So let's talk about these new cards. There's upcoming support. We get two right here. We can see them. The SS3 Son Goku preparing for the final battle, and the Son Gohan Brains from Universe 7. We're going to get them in the Regional Prizing and Tournament Pack 8, so go to Locals next set if you want Gohan. Attend and play in both physical and online regionals if you want to get Goku. Goku's also going to have a very high rarity version that I'm on the lookout for. Let's talk about him first. I think he is actually the card that's going to have the larger impact on the color. So, he's got three basic effects here. So, activate... I'm going to go for the most important one, which is actually going to be the second skill. So, activate main for a blue, limit 1. If your leader's blue, you have 2 more energy. You just play him from your hand, add up to 1 life. Very, very good in terms of self-awakening because it is not reliant on an attack. It is not a low-cost battle card, so it is not going to have its skills negated. It's not going to get prevented from being played. It's an extremely easy way to get it on the board, not to mention the fact that because it's part of the activate main to pick up the life, you can just do it and then leave him in active mode. You don't have to attack or anything with that the way that you would with, say, Pan, Gotenks, Vegeta, whatever. So I think that's super valuable. The other piece is going to be the activate main to add him to your Z energy, draw 1 card, and discard a card from his hand, from your hand. This is very good for early game cycle. At the beginning of the game, it immediately adds itself to your Z energy, which is going to allow you to get access to your Z deck, and then you get a little bit more cycle. That's cool. It's more of a benefit bonus piece. It's not that great, but like it's also good that you could swing 20 and then still get value out of him. Force your opponent to swing into your leader if you're playing a deck that needs the 4 life awaken. And then finally, if he's removed by a skill, you or your opponent, you just get to choose a Z leader. It gets +5. That's okay, right? Getting +5 does mean that on your opponent's turn, they're not really wanting to remove it until the very end of your turn, at the end of their turn, or not at all, and so then it's going to get to live, maybe get another attack off. Could be very useful. Moving on to our second card, we have Son Gohan Brains of Universe 7. I actually like this card more. It's kind of blurry still because we don't have the official reveals, right? We only have what we can read on the website, but we're pretty sure that these are its 2 effects. So it's got Deflect, and then when it's played, you can draw 2, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, place it at the bottom of the owner's deck. Any size removal at this point in the game for blue is great, as well as the fact that it's draw 2. I don't think I have to explain to you how good draw 2 is. At face value, this card is an extremely power-crept version of the Android 18 Never-Ending Energy from Draft Box... What was that? Draft Box 6? So, just got better stats because it's the Deflect, similar stats, I should say, actually. It's a 23 cost 0.5k, but then it's got Deflect, and then it also removes a card on play, still does the draw 2. It also has this additional Activate main, which is great for control blue decks. For a limit 1 blue, if your leader is blue or U7, you get to get 10,000 power for the turn and switch up to 2 of your energy to active mode at the end of the turn. So, very useful for these defensive control blue decks. If he ever lives, you can just pay 1 and get an extra energy back, which is super, super good. I'm especially looking at a couple different options. We're going to look at those here in a little bit here, but I just want to give you an idea about what these cards actually can do. So I think these are the intended uses. So we're actually in the middle of the reveal season for blue right now, so it's very possible that the day this goes up, we actually see the leader it's intended for. Goku is actually Majin Buu Saga. I initially thought this would have been strict support for Miracle Strike Gogeta, because it's a 20k Goku, picks up a life the way that the deck needs it to, goes to Z energy, does whatever. However, now that we've seen the numbers here, we believe that Majin Buu is going to have, like, 4 Z leads, and Goku's actually a Majin Buu era. Nothing about the card would have to change if it was Janemba era, so there's kind of no reason that it wouldn't be for that. So I actually think it's going to be for the upcoming blue Majin Buu deck. We just haven't seen any of the cards yet. And then finally, the Gohan is actually going to be for the green Universe 7 deck. Is it very good? I don't think so. I think the leader still has too many issues, just the fact that you're so limited to Universe 7. But at least, right, that Gohan played for 1 energy is extremely powerful. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't. My biggest issue is that the deck can't do anything on defense. So let's look at some of the basic combos for the thing. I think that Goku is the stronger card because of the types of effort and value that you get out of him. So there are equivalents for Gohan, right? There are a lot of cards that say draw 2. There is removal in blue. There are things that can restand energy. Gohan is the most efficient version of all of those things. And so if you look at these options here, you can see that you could play it in a Warriors of Universe 7 deck. That's kind of its base options, right? What they want you to do, draw 2, get extra energy back. This Goten is just a cantrip to play one, draw it, and then you can pay a blue to check top 7, and if you high roll, you can actually play a 3-cost 20k Gohan or Videl out of your deck. Top 7 is kind of slim, but if you do it, it's like a +3, so, you know, good luck. But the Goku is really where all of my interest lies, so the fact is that because he goes to your Z energy as well, he basically represents a 1-card, 2-life combo. You'll be able to pick up a life from him, and then he'll go to your Z energy, and you can immediately play Surmounting the Impossible, all while not letting your opponent actually attack your leader, right? It allows you to basically get free attacks off with the Goku and with your leader, and then they still will have to attack your leader if they're a leader that draws on swing, right? They won't be able to just swing at a battle card because it's in rest mode the way that it would happen if you were playing like the critical or double strike Self-Awakeners. And so this is just a really great way to pick up lots of life very, very quickly. Not to mention the free cycle does mean that you get to combo very well with cards that you want in your drop area. For me, when I think about blue, you're going to be looking at like Koitsukai, Draw Ape, and especially right now, Baby Bitter Revenge of the Saiyans. Any way that you can put cards into your drop area more efficiently rather than having to hard combo them off, and then, you know, blue doesn't build a lot of Z energy, so you would then want to put that in your Z energy and then play a Z extra or something. It's a lot of work as opposed to this card naturally is just going to free cycle, draw a discard for me. I think Goku has got a lot of potential for him like that. I think Gohan is a little harder to use, but he still does also have synergies. So let's look at some of those better use options. So this isn't divided by specific card. I think a lot of these decks would end up playing both of them, but let's talk about their uses. So when you look at something like Trunks, Envoy of Justice Returns, he's kind of just a generic leader who restands an energy. So getting back 1 energy, using with Gohan, you could maybe then restand 3, and suddenly your defense could be more along the line of a Floodgate type deck, right? You wouldn't normally have access to that if you weren't playing something like Gohan. I think the main problem that Trunks is going to see is that Gohan's effect and Trunks' natural activate main conflict with each other. They literally do the same thing, right? There's no reason that they wouldn't just pay those 2, draw the card, and then you didn't have to spend the card, right? But it is cool that Gohan can at least threaten the fact that it's turn over turn, and because Trunks is a 1-1 leader on Awaken, it does give you a lot of momentum that if on turn 3, you can go Gohan, pay the 1, pass with 3 up there. Very, very good. I think the leader that benefits the most out of this whole setup is going to be Heightened Evolution SS3 Reboot. I won a regional with this back almost 2 years ago now. But this leader has always been very good. It just is a little bit behind on the fact that it has to be at 4 life, and it's very bad at controlling those spots, right? It's very deck conscious in terms of options. You need to run like 54 or less because you need Self-Awakeners. But Goku is one of the best Self-Awakeners in the game. We now have new Searchers that are some of the best in the game. And so this Goku is really going to give you a lot of options in terms of getting yourself Self-Awakened. Gohan gives you a lot of control over your later game turns, right? Being able to pay 3 for Gohan and then like 2 for an Oob or a Piccolo or a Z battle card gives you a lot more control over the way that you spend energy. You don't have to just go tap 6, go, right? You can use Gohan, spend your 3s, pay the 1, and then, oh look, you just pass your opponent with literally 5 or 6 energy up if you have, like, Boo or something. He can be very, very useful. Soul Striker is, I think, the biggest benefactor as well, alongside SS3, so Soul Striker is always going to get energy back, so Gohan can basically guarantee yourself that during your turn you can pay 3 for Gohan, restand 2, pay 1 of those, and then you're passing right there. That's 3 energy up alone, just by itself. Goku SS3 is going to hugely speed in your Awaken, right? You don't have the same Self-Awaken tools. Even SS3 still ramps out of life, and so it does technically put itself to 4 a little bit faster. Soul Striker does not do that. So getting to use this quickly and immediately pick up 1 or 2 life, great, right? You can, if you're at 6 life, you can do SS3, play a Surmounting the Impossible, Awaken, get your 2 cards, and then swing and restand both those energy and still have the rest of that turn. Not to mention the fact that since you have Surmounting the Impossible out, now you have access to Android 17 Floodgate if they don't remove it immediately. Bojack is a leader that is suffering on hand size, so I think Gohan fits in very well there. Likewise, his pay 1 blue effect does go very well with the leader. It allows you to tap out if Gohan ever lives. It's a very impactful card. Vegito is just kind of here as just a generic blue leader. Does a lot of the similar things, you know, but he doesn't really need Self-Awaken, so SS3 is maybe not so relevant, but Gohan is still just, for 3, pretty good card. Also, if they do remove him, right, because they don't want you to get that pay 1, you get a draw and an untap 1 anyway, so it does kind of pressure your opponent like that. The Gogeta leader, the double name tag team in hell, it's fine. It's just another generic blue leader. It can search for whatever you want. I don't know if you ever really would play it as a blue generic leader, because I think some of these other ones that restand energy might be a little bit better. But this leader technically draws the most of all of those leaders, and if you ever did want access to it, right, pay 1, draw 1, and bounce a 4 or less is still very good. And then you can just untap energy with Gohan. Bardock Hope of the Saiyans for, you know, there are people that keep commenting, even on my videos, asking for blue Bardock support, which is crazy. I have no control over that. But it's another Self-Awakener for the SS3 Goku, and then obviously getting access to those things. So something to think about. And then finally, if we look at Son Gohan Power Duty, the red leader that I talked with, I don't know, about a year ago, the leader is pretty good. I do still think that playing it mono red is probably going to be the way, but if someone was to cook up something red-blue to be able to take advantage of Brains of U7, I wouldn't be terribly surprised. I think that there's a lot of potential in the deck, right? The fact is that the leader doesn't say when you use a red Universe 7 in a combo, right? Draw 1. It's just when you use it. So it's not even like it's a dead card in hand. He naturally has Warrior of Universe 7, so you can pay all your reds and then just pay your 1 red-blue to get the Restand 2 effect. Just something to think about. I think there's a lot of good uses for it. I only have one thing. All hail D Magic, baby. See you next time.